Everyone, welcome back. And we are going to start off the rest of our show with our Twitter trending topics of the week. This week, James Harden signs an $80 million deal with the Houston Rockets, leaving Oklahoma City after what was a chemistry-filled team that went all the way to the NBA championship. Zach, let's get into it. Is the James Harden deal worth spending the money for Houston?
Absolutely. Houston was in dire need of a superstar since they tried with Tracy McGrady. He dealt with injuries. Yao Ming, same thing. Harden is not at that superstar level yet, but he is a star, and he's a rising star. He's still young. And he won't have every night won't be a 37-point night like he did last night, but he can score the ball. He can control the ball. He's a great floor general out there.
And as you see here, in his debut with the Rockets against the Detroit Pistons, Harden went for 37 points, only committing 3 turnovers in that game, and he was an absolute monster for the Houston Rockets down the stretch as he gave them the victory to start off the season. Now let's get into his career regular season stats as he had with the Oklahoma City Thunder, as they're pretty impressive for a third option on a basketball team. James Harden played in 221 games, averaged about 26.8 minutes a game, field goal percentage 44.6, an impressive 37% from three-point range, and he averaged 12.8 points per game with about 3 rebounds per game. And in Oklahoma City, we all knew he was at 6th Man of the Year last year. Great asset for the team. But what does this mean for him and Jeremy Lin to work together?
Well, it's great for Jeremy Lin because he doesn't have to handle the ball as much because James Harden can, which will reduce his turnovers, and he can be more of a scorer off the ball, and that's where he's best. He's best at attacking the rim. Harden can literally do everything on the floor from the guard position.
And the beard moves now to Houston. And in our second Twitter trending topic of the week, the Lakers start off a little shaky this year, starting off 0-2 so far in a team that was supposed to go to try and beat the Bulls record of 72 wins in a season. The Lakers not doing well this season as we roll some of their highlights from their first couple of games, and it's pretty daunting to see, especially Steve Nash, as we know he's a little banged up. Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant on the same exact team. Why are they not producing wins?
Well, they didn't get a lot of playing time together in the preseason, the three of them, and Paul Gasol, of course, too. So they just still need that time to gel. It's only 2 games in, and eventually they're gonna get used to it. Nash, unfortunately, got injured last night. He had a knee injury when he banged into a Portland player. But they'll eventually play more together. That's why their turnovers are so high, because they don't have that continuity. They haven't gelled. So
now, for their first 2 games, they have about 98.5 points per game, about a 50% field goal percentage, 35 from beyond the line, but the turnovers are what is killing them with 19.5 turnovers per game. Not good stuff for a team that is experienced with all the All-Stars that they have on that roster.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, a lot of them are new players. They also have Antoine Jamison, who is new, coming off the bench, who is going to really be that 6-man role. Devin Ebanks is still a young player off the bench. They need time, and eventually they're going to be a high-seed playoff team.
In the future, we'll probably see them atop the West at some point. Now let's go into our third Twitter trending topic of the week. And as DeAngelo Hall has very controversial comments this past week in his last Sunday to a referee and to an official, he says that his actions were justified and that the referees were just as much to blame. Zach, what do you think with the incident?
Well, unfortunately, the league probably won't see it that way. Now, DeAngelo Hall, he has a history of kind of being a loudmouth once in a while. But the league needs to give him a chance to say his opinion if he meets with Roger Goodell. But as of right now, hopefully they don't suspend him and just fine him until he gets his chance to speak what he has to say.
37 tackles and 2 interceptions are his stat line for this past year. Maybe the Redskins can turn around with RG3 and him and company for the future.